Social media has become an integral part of our lives. With the click of a button, we can connect with people from all around the world and stay up to date with the latest news and trends. But there is a darker side to social media that often goes unnoticed: cyberbullying, addiction, and privacy concerns. Cyberbullying is a pervasive problem on social media platforms. People hide behind anonymous usernames and hurl insults and threats at others, often with devastating consequences. According to a study by the Cyberbullying Research Center, nearly 34% of students in the US have experienced cyberbullying. Addiction is another serious issue that arises from social media use. The dopamine hit we get from receiving likes and comments can be addictive, and it's easy to get caught up in the endless scroll. According to a study by the Royal Society for Public Health, social media is more addictive than cigarettes and alcohol. And then there are privacy concerns. With every click and post, we're giving away our personal information to social media platforms. This data is often used to create targeted advertising, but it can also be sold to third-party companies without our knowledge or consent. So what can we do to protect ourselves from the dark side of social media? One option is to limit our use of social media or even delete our accounts altogether. But for many people, that's not a realistic solution. The key is to use social media in a healthy and responsible way. That means being mindful of the time we spend on social media, setting boundaries, and being aware of the impact our posts and comments can have on others. Social media can be a powerful tool for connection and communication, but we must also be aware of its potential dangers. By being mindful and responsible users, we can help create a safer and more positive online community for all. To gain a better understanding of cyberbullying, we spoke to Dr. Sarah Johnson, a cyberbullying expert and professor of psychology at a leading university. Dr. Johnson, what can you tell us about cyberbullying and its impact on young people? Dr. Johnson, cyberbullying is a growing problem, particularly among young people. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and even suicide in extreme cases. The anonymity of social media makes it easy for bullies to hide behind fake names and accounts, which can make it difficult for victims to defend themselves. What can parents and educators do to protect young people from cyberbullying? Dr. Johnson, parents and educators can play a crucial role in preventing cyberbullying. They can educate young people about responsible social media use, encourage them to report bullying when they see it, and provide support for victims. It's also important to have open and honest conversations about the impact of cyberbullying and how to stay safe online. Dr. Johnson's insights highlight the importance of education and support in combating cyberbullying. By working together, we can create a safer and more positive online environment for everyone. We also spoke to Dr. James Lee, a professor of psychology at a leading university, to learn more about social media addiction and how to manage it. Cut to an interview with Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee, can you tell us about the addictive nature of social media? Dr. Lee, social media can be highly addictive due to the reward mechanisms it employs. When we receive likes, comments, or messages, our brains release dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This can create a cycle of dependence, where we constantly seek out more likes and comments to feel good. What can people do to manage their social media use and reduce addiction? Dr. Lee, one strategy is to set limits on social media use. This can include limiting the amount of time spent on social media each day or designating specific times of day for social media use. It's also important to cultivate other sources of pleasure and reward, such as hobbies or spending time with loved ones. Dr. Lee's insights remind us that managing social media use requires a conscious effort. By setting boundaries and cultivating other sources of reward, we can reduce the negative impact of social media addiction. Finally, we spoke to Dr. Emily Kim, a privacy expert and professor of law at a leading university, to learn more about the privacy concerns associated with social media use. Dr. Kim, what can you tell us about the privacy risks associated with social media use? Dr. Kim, social media platforms often collect a vast amount of personal data from users, including location, browsing history, and personal preferences. This data can be used for targeted advertising or sold to third-party companies without users' knowledge or consent. What can people do to protect their online privacy? Dr. Kim, it's important for users to be aware of the privacy policies of social media platforms and to understand the risks associated with sharing personal information online. Users can also take steps to limit the amount of personal data they share, such as adjusting privacy settings and using ad blockers. In conclusion, the dark side of social media is real, and it's important to be aware of the potential risks associated with its use. Cyberbullying, addiction, and privacy concerns are just a few of the issues that can arise from social media use. However, with education, awareness, and responsible use, we can mitigate these risks and create a safer and more positive online environment. By taking steps to protect ourselves and others, we can enjoy the benefits of social media without falling victim to its darker side. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope that it has provided you with valuable insights into the dark side of social media. Remember to stay safe online, and be mindful of the impact of your social media use.